Hello there, my name is Gabriel. I'm a new master's student at the University of the Free State. Myself and a friend of mine, Spencer, who we'll meet later on in the video, decided to do a couple of interviews on campus about race and racism. Even though it is 20 years after our first democratic elections, South Africa is still a country divided by things like race and class and gender and sexual orientation, amongst other factors of inequality. At the University of the Free State, there have been two big racist incidents in the last couple of years. The first was in 2008, where 4 white male students humiliated black workers at the university and video recorded these. And the second happened last year, where 2 white male students attempted to drive over a black student and also then beat him up later on. And we feel like these aren't isolated incidences, and so we decided to meet with a couple of students on campus, record the ideas about race and racism, and see where these discussions can take us. So here goes.
For me personally, I actually would see people celebrate race, the difference in races more on campus, but to be honest, it is not a reality on this campus. In fact, race is an issue on this campus, and it feels like we're not moving forward. And I really, it's defeating, because at the same time, you can't really change the minds of people who are racist. You can't do anything. We're still having the same problems, you know, just in different ways perhaps, but the same problem is recurring and recurring and recurring. And it really feels like we're not really going to move in. So that's my view of race on campus.
Okay, for me, I agree with her, but then I also think that it's not only students. I just think how everything works. You know, you see that in a particular sport you get so, like, it's mostly dominated by a certain race, and in another particular sport it's dominated by that race as well. As well with the races, like I've noticed, and really I have, in some races you get races where it's only white people and maybe, you know, maybe 10, and then you get 10 black people, and then you get in other races it's like a lot of black people and then maybe 2, like for our race as well, you know, there's only a handful of white people, and like you wonder why is it like that, because when you fill in the question forms you are given a choice in which race you want to be in. So do they take your name, that it's a particular language, into consideration, that you might be this race or whatever? That too is a bit like, you know. So obviously if it's at that point, then everyone else is going to sort of conform to, let's all, how are we expected to be like interracial with each other when already we are being grouped into certain races?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to make friends from other races and be part of that interracial, that racial group when I'm already, you know, separated from this?
Yeah. So first is, what do you think and feel about race on campus?
Right, I think there's a big emphasis being placed on race on this campus, but there's a camp that feels that we should look beyond race, that it's post-94 and race doesn't matter anymore, but I disagree with that completely, because obviously we have 300 years of oppression and that's not going to be wiped out in 20 years time. So race, people call it reverse racism now, but I think that's nonsense. We need to look at race to address the wrongs of the past. That's the only way with looking at race, how you're going to do it. You can't just start classifying it to other ways. Race is still a big issue.
Ek dink almal hang apart uit, maar daar is tog klein groepies wat swart en wit en kleurlinge, whatever, maar it's maar baie min. You see the black people on the end, you see the white people on the end, so that's it.
Ek is in Engelse klas, en die mense in die Engelse klas is baie meer soos die sensitized to die idee van racial groepies en so aan. So ek weet nie, maar ek sien baie multicultural groepies.
So racism for me plainly is just something that's played out that should not be in the community as a whole, because we are all one person at the end. So.
And my stance on racism on the campus, to be honest, you see it, but you don't really feel it, and you hear about it, people talk about it, it's happening, but on a daily basis I don't really experience racism. but you'll notice that if you look around, the white people and the black people are segregated. They have their own study groups. But you don't. It's not aggressive. It's not confrontational. It's just passive. So yeah, they do their things. We do ours. We have some white friends. But
So what are your thoughts about race on campus?
For me, I haven't personally experienced, racial, segregation or, discrimination per se. But I would say that, it still leaves edge-offs in that, we still see white people thinking that they're still superior than black people. And I think we have an obligation as people of this country to change that perception and to also to educate those who still feel like if you're white, you're superior.
I feel that people they sometimes take it too serious because they forget about the fact that people are into relationships with each other, they don't see that always, and forget about the people staying in races together, the blacks and whites, or it doesn't matter what race you are. So that's my feeling about it, whereas where two would argue, for instance, and it's with two different races, it would automatically go to a racism topic. So I don't think they must see it that way, but rather see it where everyone gets along on campus.
Okay, thank you.
Like I said, they are holding us accountable for our ancestors' faults, and that's not right. I mean, you can't get over racism if you keep going back to the past. I mean, speak about it once or twice, but leave it. Focus on the future, because that's what it's about. And that's how I feel.
I think it's actually stupid because there's a new democracy. Like, racism should be in the past. Like, it's something of the past. We need to move on from the past. I don't get why people are still dwelling on things that happened back then. It's time for change, man. Like, I don't see color, I just see a person. Like, so why is it different for other people? Why do they feel the need to suppress other people? Because they feel like they're superior or they're better than others. That's just what I think.
I feel that our varsity is stuck in the dark ages. Like, there's this huge division between people. When you walk around in the races, it's like the other races are like black dominated and the others are like white dominated, and you only see like there's only one black girl there and there's only one white girl there. And I keep asking myself, why is there such, like, we should be able to see beyond the boundaries of race. So I don't understand why there's such a lot of racism in this huge community.